Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sutriani. Okay, today I'm going to explanation about part 3, stress patterns. Okay, the first is syllables and stress. Each syllable in a word has a degree of emphasis called stress. There are 3 stress levels. The first is primary, the second is secondary, and the third is unstressed. Okay, the first is primary. Each word of two or more syllables has one syllable that is longer and louder than the others. The syllables are represented in extra bold letters. Okay, next, secondary. Some words and syllables have secondary stress, which is slightly weaker than the primary one, but louder and longer than the unstressed one. The syllables are represented in bold letters in the example. Okay, the third is there are many unstressed syllables in English. They have a short, soft vowel sound and may be different cold to hear at first. They are represented in the example in Roman type. Okay, next, 2 syllables words. Primary stress. A word with 2 vowel sounds has 2 syllables. 1 syllable has primary stress. Say it a little louder and longer than the other. For example, primary stress on the first syllable. Climate, actor, pleasure. Primary stress on the second syllable. Advice, excite, pause. Okay, next. Example of the sentence. We're going to present him with a present at reception. Secondary stress. Some 2 syllable words have primary stress on the first syllable and secondary stress on the second syllable. Say the first syllable strongly, emphasize the sound and syllable a little less, but say it with a clear vowel. For example, accent, female, income, insect. For example of the sentence, the teacher had to conduct him to the principal. Okay, next, words with 3 or more syllables. Stress pattern 1. Primary stress is on the first syllable and all other syllables are unstressed. For example, animal, chocolate, furniture. Stress pattern 2. Primary stress is on the second syllable and all other syllables and unstressed. For example, apartment, example, condition, prohibit. Okay, next, stress pattern 3. Primary stress is on the first syllable and secondary stress is on the third syllable. All other syllables are unstressed. For example, alphabet, basketball, photograph, recognize. Stress pattern 4. Primary stress is on the second syllable and secondary stress on the fourth syllable. All other syllables are unstressed. For example, apologize, appreciate. Okay, stress pattern 5. Secondary stress is on the first syllable and primary stress is on the second syllable. The other syllables are unstressed. For example, athletic, umbrella. Stress pattern 6. Secondary stress is on the first syllable, and primary stress is on the third syllable. All others syllables are unstressed. For example, afternoon, disappear. Okay, next, one syllable prefix.
Ano jadai ko muni.
Prefix are one or two syllables addition that occur to the beginning of some words. For example, prefix continue, committee, discuss. General meaning of prefix with and negative. Okay, next, two syllable prefix. As mentioned in the present unit, there are prefixes that have two syllables. For example, prefix inter, general meaning is between. Micro, general meaning is tiny. When this prefix from a three-syllable word, there is usually primary stress on the first syllable, followed by an unstressed syllable and secondary stress on the third syllable. For example, automate, universe. When two-syllable prefix form a word of four or more syllables, there is usually secondary stress on the first syllable, no stress on the second, and primary stress on the third. The remaining syllable one are unstressed. Okay, for example, antisocial, automatic, multinational. Next, suffix. Suffix are addition of one or more syllable that may be attached to the end of words. They usually have a grammatical function. For example, they can change the part of speech, a basic word, change the tense of a verb, and change the form of an adjective. For example, non-suffix, ends, importance. 8. Graduate, air, driver. Adjective suffix, al, musical. For suffix, at, wanted. Adverb suffix, li, slowly. Okay, next sentence stress. When several words are spoken together in a phrase or sentence, certain words are stressed and others are spoken more softly and quickly. Stressed words, say them a little louder than the unstressed word. Number 1. Most contain words, nouns, verb, adjective, and adverbs. For example, Jason plays basketball. Number 2. Interrogative words. Who, whose, when, where, why, what, and how. The begins question. For example, where's Mary's school? Who's coming? Number 3. Demonstrative pronouns like that, this, that, does, and does, when not followed by a noun. For example, what's this? That's Jessica's ball. Number 4. Possessive pronouns like mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. For example, this yours, the ticket's mine. Okay, for unstressed words, there is no stress on most function words in the phrase or sentence. Okay, there is no unstress. For example, the article a and the. For example, a duck, an apple, the chair. Okay, next. Number two, prepositions such as to, from, with, in, on, through, for, by, over, and under. For example, for a dog, on the chair, in the house. The third is the subject pronouns like I, you, we, they, she, he, it. For example, I know the lesson. She tells secrets to everybody. Okay, next, the possessive pronouns like my, yours, his, her, our, and their. For example, my car, your friend, her dress, his brother. Okay, number 5, the object pronouns like me, you, her, him, us, them. For example, I saw him. They told me. We ask it here. Number 6, the demonstrative adjective like this, that, and those when followed by noun. For example, this book is interesting. This book is interesting. She bought that house. She bought that house. Okay, number 7, forms of the verb like be, is, are, where, aren't, isn't. For example, I am here. He is a tall man. Okay, next, the expression there is and there are. For example, there is a car in the driveway. There are too many cars on the road. Okay, number 9, the to before a verb. For example, he needs to work. I like to eat early. Okay, next, auxiliary verbs such as is, are, was, were, do, does, did, have, has. For example, I am working in the house. We have been working all day. Next, modal auxiliary such as can, must, have to, should, could, and would. For example, John can come. Joe has to work. We would like to help. Okay, next, who, whose, when, where, why, what, and how in the middle of the sentence. For example, Jenny has a cousin whose name is Smith. Jenny has a cousin whose name is Smith. Do you know where she lives? Do you know where she lives? Okay, and the last is other short function words such as and, but, or, so, not, if, as, because. Whether signs. For example, I don't know whether he was late or not. I don't know whether he was late or not. I don't know whether he was late or not. Okay, I think enough from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.